Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Salt Lake. Today is March 5th, 2026. We're at 1472 West Arapahoe Ave. We have the camera pushed out 110 feet to the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So that first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. And then right off the bat, it looks like we transitioned to cast iron, and it looks like that's what the entire pipe is cast iron. A lot of houses of this age will have cast iron under the house, but then through the yard, it's more common to find something else, clay or transite. A lot of times it's been upgraded at this point, but this house has cast iron all the way out. And the issue with cast iron is that it gets real rough and rusty and will eventually need to be replaced. As far as replacement, when it is time, there are a couple of options. If you have good grade, which so far it looks like this one has decent grade, you could blow a liner. It's like a sleeve, like a sock that gets hardened in the pipe, and that's like having a new pipe. And the benefit of that route is that it's trenchless, and so except for one or two holes in the front yard, you don't have to necessarily dig up the entire line. So it's usually a little cheaper. That might be a good option here if we don't find any standing water. In the meantime, I would recommend getting this line cleaned. And that's just good preventative maintenance. And this area looks pretty decent. The entire thing looked like that. I would say you'd be fine to not necessarily have it cleaned, but it doesn't all look like that. With cast iron, you want to avoid putting wet wipes down the line. They could get stuck and build up. This looks like fairly typical cast. The grade looks good, which is one of the more important things. That'll give you a lot more options when it's time to replace it. I would certainly recommend the insurance on this line, in addition to getting it cleaned. And that way, if or when there's a bigger issue, they can help offset the cost. Yeah, that would be especially important if you are going to push it. You're not going to replace it proactively. There's one joint that I was getting a little cut up on. I noticed it when I pushed through as well. It was right on a turn, so I couldn't get a good look at it to see exactly what was causing that. But something isn't quite as smooth as it probably could have been. So next step here I'd recommend is getting it cleaned. There's a couple ways to clean cast, but one way is with the chain. If you get quotes to have it descaled, that's really what you're looking for, and you have basically a 100-foot line, a little plus, a little over rather, but basically a 100-foot cast iron line that you want to have descaled. And then it's also good to have it looked at after. There's a lot that we can look at, and we could look at the grade, but once you have all that buildup removed, sometimes you'll find cracks or defects that aren't necessarily visible through all that rust. I'm going to end this recording now.